Hello everyone, I'm meteorologist Charlie Ironmonger. Thank you so much for joining me today for your 1 p.m. news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. Now we've got news out of Kinston where a South Carolina man is now facing drug charges after being arrested in Kinston yesterday. Kinston police charged Shaquille Stanley with trafficking methamphetamine and possession of methamphetamine after they saw him acting suspiciously and lurking in the shadows at a public housing complex. Police say at around 8:45 p.m. last night they were patrolling the Carver Courts area when they spotted Stanley. They say he tried to run but was quickly caught. When arrested, police say they found pills and powder on Stanley that tested positive for meth. The 32-year-old man is being held on a $100,000 secured bond. And now we want to turn to the war in Gaza, where again, efforts towards peace talks continue to push forward despite Israeli movements, military movements in Gaza City. NBC's Matt Bradley has more.
Well, now we're in day 4 of Israel's ground incursion into Gaza City, the most populated part of the Gaza Strip, where Israeli military officials suspect that at least some of the 20 remaining living hostages are being held by Hamas. Now, as that incursion continues, it sparked a massive wave of migration of people who have been forcibly displaced from their homes in the Gaza City by the hundreds of thousands. They've been walking and driving down, carrying all of their belongings to the southern part of Gaza Strip in order to seek safety. And this is where they've been told to go by the Israelis. Many of these people that our team has been speaking to in Gaza have been displaced 6 or 7 times. They don't have any money left. They don't have food or water. They're bathing themselves and their children in puddles on the sides of the street. Some of them can't afford the tents that they need in order to sleep out in these vast tent cities that are housing displaced people from elsewhere in the Gaza Strip. Now, the situation there is deteriorating quickly, even as the United States has just vetoed a resolution in the United Nations Security Council that was approved by the 14 other members, saying that they want an immediate end to the fighting in the Gaza Strip. Now, the United States, their diplomats said that the resolution didn't go far enough in condemning Hamas or in defending Israel's right to defend itself. But now, the focus of a lot of the conversation around the Israeli-Palestinian conflict is going to be moving to the United Nations again in the coming week, as American and Israeli allies in the West have said that they will plan to recognize a Palestinian state if the situation in Gaza doesn't improve. So expect a confrontation in the halls of the United Nations coming up this week. Matt Bradley, NBC News, Tel Aviv.
Thank you very much, Matt, for that report. We now turn to your weather forecast, and everything is looking sunny right now. Earlier this morning, we woke up to fog across a healthy portion of eastern North Carolina. We are now looking at much sunnier conditions outside. Let's take a look at what we've got through our Pirate Cam. 86 degrees. Feels like 85. Not bad. Not bad. 59-degree dew point right now over Dowdy-Ficklen Stadium. Overall, again, very comfortable weather. Not just for today, but coming up again for tomorrow as well, likely lasting through the weekend. Air temperatures currently in the mid to upper 80s for those of you watching along and west of Highway 17. Those of you east of 17, a little bit more variance in your air temperatures. We've got 74 in Oriental, 77 in Hatteras, 78 in Beaufort. We've got 83 in Swan Quarter, 80 in Plymouth, 86 in Stumpy Point, 81 in Elizabeth City, 76 in Manio. So again, air temperatures along the coast kind of all over the board, but on the immediate coast, you're looking more at the mid to upper 70s. Right now, winds variable at around 3 to 6 miles an hour throughout most of the east. We do have a few spots, well, really 2, Stumpy Point and Beaufort, both coming in with wind speeds a little bit outside of that range. But winds today, we knew they weren't going to be all that strong thanks to a high pressure system nearby that's creating, again, a little bit more of a calming presence than what we've seen over the past few days, when winds have been fairly breezy out of the northeast. Now, that area of low pressure you're seeing off the coast, that may try to swing some raindrops over the Outer Banks over this coming weekend. Chances right now are set at around a 10 to 20% level, not all that high. For most of the weekend, we again are looking at mostly sunny skies that will leave us with fairly comfortable air temperatures. Anticipate the mid to upper 80s for your Saturday and Sunday with just a slim chance of rain on both Saturday and Sunday, a 10 to 20% chance. And we do need to highlight Tropical Storm Gabrielle. Right now, 50-mile-an-hour maximum sustained winds with gusts up to 65 miles an hour. Pressure is holding at 1,004 millibars. It's moving northwest at 12 miles an hour. And again, we continue to highlight that while this system is expected to become a hurricane, potentially over the weekend, it is going to be staying east of Bermuda. Now, from Hatteras to Bermuda, you're looking at a distance of around 550 miles. So with Gabrielle staying even east of that, we're looking at it staying at least 700 miles off of our coast, even at its closest point. So good news in that regard. Certainly not going to be seeing any sort of wind or rain impact eastern North Carolina out of Gabrielle. We may see some increased wave heights coming in late Sunday into Monday, decreasing on Tuesday, but that's really the only sort of impact I'm anticipating for eastern North Carolinians with Gabrielle. Now, we will have some more rain, or a better opportunity for rain, I should say, coming in next Thursday and Friday as a cold front will be sweeping its way through the east, knocking air temperatures out of the upper 80s on Wednesday and putting them back down in the low 80s for Thursday and Friday. Again, bringing about not only a better chance for rain showers, but a better opportunity for perhaps maybe a stray thunderstorm or two. That's all we have time for today's 1 p.m. News and Weather Update from the First Alert Desk. I want to thank you all so much for joining me. We'll be back with more news and weather coming up at the top of the hour. Until then, have a wonderful Friday.